This is the first half of the ascent of Annapurna Circuit from Jagat on the southeast end of the canyon to Manang about halfway up. The trail ascends from 5,800 feet to 11,600 feet with nearly 23,000 feet of gain and 15,000 feet of loss over 62 miles. It took us 4 days for this part of the trek. The trek begins deep in the jungle, sharing a narrow canyon with an angry river. We crossed countless cable bridges that passed along tight trails clinging to the cliffside. As the trail ascends, it passed through quaint villages with monasteries, stupas, and prayer wheels. The monsoon season extended a week later than we hoped, so we encountered quite a bit of rain. This certainly made the vegetation lush and the waterfalls impressive, but it also robbed us of the views of the tall peaks. After a 9-hour car drive from Kathmandu, the trek begins near the easternmost corner of the Annapurna Range. It is possible to take a jeep up an adjacent road, but we chose to hike this, and I am glad we did. The first day was from Jagat to Dharapani, 10 miles and up to 6,100 feet, but there was well more than 4,000 feet of gain. My biggest impression was how immensely vertical everything is. I deeply love the cable bridges. Okay, now we begin the trek for real. We're making our way down to a cable bridge, our first one of the trip, of many out here. Natural marijuana. You can hear them working on the new road across the way. Okay, this stick right here becomes the tree. Here
This kind of trees, they grow easily here.
And then that's how this whole line grew from sticks just stuck in the ground. These are bamboo growing so tall.
Short break.
Remember, this trail was the highway between villages.
You can do recommendation.
There we go. Some recommendations for how far to go.
They want to do like more work, right?
Free tomatoes. I'm not sure I want to eat that. So this is a little tea hut that we're having lunch in along a nice little road there, and 2 huge waterfalls just cascading down. I don't know what it is, but it's what the locals eat, and it looks delicious. This land is so vertical that the GPS data is all over the place. Clearly, we did not climb that vertical cliff on the trail. Isn't that funny? Workmanship on these stairs is just remarkable. Gotta remember, this was their highway before they built the road. Imagine the work required to lay all these guys just so that it won't shift. We have a really beautiful waterfall right here. But if you look way up, there's a bridge. Can you imagine crossing that bridge? Woohoo! Our place for the night, amongst towering cliffs. Our room, the bathroom. Notice how the shower is kind of the bathroom, and then our view out the window. You can hear that all night. The second day was from Dharapani to Chame, 11 miles and 4,000 feet of gain to an elevation of 8,700 feet. This was our wettest day, but the sun broke out a few times. Each little village gave us a taste of the traditional Nepalese lifestyle. Day 2 of the trek, and it is raining hard. Look how smoky the mountains look. And we're gonna ascend into that smokiness. The rain has let up for a bit. Yak cheese. The first little temple. I think we'll see more. Must be coming to a new town. Another cute little village. The rain has stopped, but the roads are still quite muddy. More prayer wheels. Another cool bridge. Looks like there's the remains of an old bridge over there. It wasn't very long ago we were right down there. Ah, great view, and look at this little snack shack. Tiny little village. Cute little garden. What? That's marijuana though. All that's marijuana. I think it's grown wild. After lunch, we traveled from one cute little town to the next. The locals were just busily going about their lives as we walked by, washing their clothes, tending their animals, or harvesting from the garden. I heard this trek would be very touristy, but the opposite was the case. Everything is really steep, and there's landslides all over the place on the opposite side. Cosmos and filled with apple trees. Very lush. Some toadstools growing on the branches there.
Welcome.
Why, hello. See that snow-covered peak? It's the first snow we've seen thus far. Just can't get enough of these amazing views of the cliffs to the right of us. Party. All right, this is our home for the night. And they have the traditional gate. And of course, oh, look at the paintings. That's new. Those are Hindi gods. Hindi gods, Buddhist gods with. Right after I filmed this old lady came up to me and chewed me out. Apparently I was turning the prayer wheels the wrong way. And this has the effect of sucking the goodwill and the karma out of the ether rather than turning it into the ether. So I turned around and turned it back again and twice as fast, looking to make up for it. This cute little tea house, and our room is up there. So we have to go up the stairs. Our room for the night. Windows on 3 sides. I love the little drapes. This is fantastic. But my favorite part is the view on the outside. Our third day was from Chame to Upper Pisang, 8.5 miles and 6,000 vertical feet, to reach an altitude of 10,500 feet. We started the day with perfectly blue skies, leading me to hope that bad weather days were behind us. However, we got further into the day, the rain returned, and I have to admit, I was getting a little down. I came all this way to see the peaks, and they were hidden. Good morning. Wow. The mountains have come out now that the rain is gone. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And I love the turquoise water rolling down from the glacier above. Okay. Now, of course, when you leave, you want to have good luck. And I guess you get good luck by turning the prayer wheels. And turning them the correct way. Being very careful. Got corrected by the old lady. I don't want to make a mistake. I have no idea what these symbols mean. But they inscribe prayers, I believe. Not only on the prayer wheels, but into the rocks. I'm fairly confident these are Hindi gods. All the food we've eaten have been cut straight out of a garden just before they prepared it for us. The hot springs, more like a public bath, to be honest. Another one is cool gates. I love the paintings in here. Oh, good luck. Here we are, nearly 10,000 feet, and look how productive this land is. This insane waterfall just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing.
How did you get through them?
I stepped over them. And that's an apple orchard that we're going to be at in about 10 minutes. More meticulously carved prayers, I assume. The size of this slab cannot fit into my brain. It's at least 3,000 feet. Maybe more, and it's unbroken except for that horizontal cleft, which just makes it harder. All right, the view is getting more spectacular with every corner. All right, another cute little town with colorful shops and tea houses everywhere. Oh, I just cannot get enough of this place. Something new. I am so intrigued. Every town seems to have these little temple things. I don't know where they are. Filled with prayers and sometimes prayer wheels. Notice how the valley below is sparsely populated pine trees, which is quite different than the lush jungle we had just a day ago. All right, Upper Pisang, 3,300 meters or 11,000 feet. A bathroom and a room with a view. The fourth day was from Upper Pisang to Manang, 10 miles and 1,500 feet again to 11,600 feet. Normally this day would give us the first views of the tall mountains. However, today the views were just of heavy clouds. The culture was the highlight. I love these little towns, each filled with people living their traditional lives untouched over hundreds of years. Morning of day 4. Rainy morning again. We never got to see that great view of Annapurna 2. And once again, burning incense. Traditional houses built out of stone and wood. Look how the roofs are constructed here. They just lay down the pieces of wood and then put a horizontal piece and hold down with stones. No nails. Man, I love these houses. Look how just they kind of add on to it, just add a new layer. So if you want a new room. I don't know if you can pick out from the camera, but the trail's quite a bit busier than it was just a couple days ago. So that was the village we stayed in, Upper Pisang. Sometimes these have prayer wheels, sometimes these tablets with hand-carved prayers, I assume. How old are these guys? I mean, this valley's been populated for centuries. So cool. Oh, a little bit of Hindi gods.
They're like
Okay.
1 hour up, maybe 1 hour.
I don't know, 7th bridge? 8th? It never gets old. More prayer wheels, including a giant one. Oh, I am excited to turn this guy. Oh look, there's a bell. All these different prayer wheels. So many, so many, so many. More of these tablets. And always red, white, and blue on those memorials. And more prayer wheels. And a view of the world. I love this old traditional village made of stones just stacked on each other. Mind you, there's no mortar. Built them to the side of the cliff. And these little vegetable gardens, which are actually very productive. Just the grain of this rock is so interesting. It's all shale. Oh, the view down to the valley is stunning with these jagged cliffs. Oh, whoa. Can you see the steps leading way up that ridge? How far do they go? This is the most lush and huge marijuana plant I've ever seen. That'll take care of a fraternity for like a day. Love this traditional architecture made of stone, packed with clay and mud. Gotta watch your step on these slate stones. They're all carefully laced so they don't shift, and I guess they won't be slippery, but not something I want to ride my bike on. This tree kind of grew around this little shrine. This is where we're having lunch, this delightful little tea house. In the courtyard they have this huge tree with a little shrine built into it. And of course, we have to have a giant prayer wheel. This prayer wheel is water driven. The water coming out there. It's net covered. Day 4 lunch, the set meal, and I can't pronounce it. That's egg on top. Doesn't that look good? I have a cool road here with a little drainage built in, and I guess that rock was too hard to move, so I'm just gonna work around it. No problem. We have a tiny little village here that has maybe a dozen homes. Of course, it has a soccer field. That goes without saying. That's one of the bigger homes right there. Have a basketball court, very cool. And look at this. Isn't this cool? Look at the crazy architecture of this old bridge. Playing soccer, an old village, and a gorgeous monastery. Hoodoos. I wasn't thinking hoodoos when I came to Nepal. In the city of Manang, where we're gonna spend the night, and I love the scaffolding they have here. Not quite up to Western standards. We are home for 2 nights. We're gonna make ourselves comfortable. Here is our room for the night. Quite of a different feel because we never had wood before. Everything else before was just concrete. Just to be clear, you can totally take a Jeep to Manang and skip these 4 days. However, these were one of my favorites of the circuit. Nowhere else did I get to experience the Nepalese culture quite so authentically as these days. Oh, another important prayer. There we go. I never get